Powered by Virginia Radio.
Hello, and what's going on, folks? Thank y'all for joining me here, and this is my podcast, which is called Let Me Say Something, sponsored by Powered by Virginia Radio Station. Hey, thanks for taking the time to come and listen, or come and watch, because I know you could be doing something else. You decided to spend a little bit of time with me. My name is Big Al. I'm the HNIC of the podcast, and listen, folks, and by the way, just so you know, what we do here in this particular podcast, anything that has to do with black culture, we are going to talk about. You're not going to always like what I say. You're not going to always agree with it, and that's fine, okay? You can always give me a call, all right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to always give you what I think is my truth, okay? Now, if you want to talk about that, you want to debate with me at any time, 757-964-9367. That's 757-964-9367. And one more quick public service announcement. We have another segment called Community Heroes. If you know of anyone in the 757 that is doing something for the community, they need some recognition, or they needed to be pushed out in the forefront, or they needed to be noticed, let me know, okay? That's Community Heroes at the Let Me Say Something podcast, sponsored by Powered by Virginia. Now, you can reach me. I gave you one number, but if you want to reach me, though, go to my email, WISEOWL dot A as in apple, B as in butter, 1957 at gmail.com. That's WISEOWL dot A as in apple, B as in butter, 1957 at gmail.com. We have people out there that are doing some great things for the community, for the 7 cities or the Taiwan, whatever you want to call it, okay? And we need to give them some recognition, and we need to push them out there too. I'm sure they can use some additional help, that's what we want to do. All righty. So now let's get started. Okay. Now, ladies, let's see. Well, first of all, the name of this segment the name of this particular podcast is Black Women. The foolishness cannot continue. That's gonna piss somebody off, but hey, I'm not scared. You know, you got the number. Call me in. Okay. But listen, folks. Okay, this is what I mean. Particularly modern black women. Okay, y'all have been recently going around disparaging black men, telling we not nothing, we ain't crap, we aren't needed, you know, and on and on and on and on. You know, one woman, I got my bag. Loud told me what bag meant. That means money. I didn't know that. You know. I got my bag, I got my car, I got my apartment, blah blah blah. I buy my own clothes. Why do I need a man? Lady, you a grown woman. You supposed to be doing it for yourself anyway. Okay? What does a man have to do with any of that? What does a man have to do with any of that you're talking about? You know, a lot of you guys are out here telling the community and the world about that you don't need nobody. You don't need a man. You don't need nobody because you got it all. Well, nobody has it all. Nobody has it all. Now, will this chasm, will this divide between black men and black women started? I'm not quite sure when that happened, but I know it's been rather recent. And it comes from a lot of modern black women. You ladies that are under 30. Are doing this. Y'all want to hook up. Y'all don't want relationships. Okay, y'all looking for one-nighters. Y'all don't want relationships. In other words, y'all are being very masculine, trying to be like men, and that doesn't work for women. It hasn't now. It never will. It never will. Why? Because men, we don't want to be with a woman that is like that. We don't want to be with a woman that has a high body count. And let me just be perfect. The higher the body count, the less attractive you are, the less desirable that you are. Okay? And I know you women say, that's not true. We can do just what men do. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Can a man have a high body count and all of a sudden get married? Something? Sure. Yeah, he can do that. It's been done since the dawn of time. But ladies, there's no man out there that wants a woman with a high body count because you could never trust her. Everywhere we go, he's going to be wondering, did you sleep with? And the guy goes, hey, what's happening? Or if he calls her by her first name, hey, Taquisha, what's going on? He's your man can thinking, did you sleep with him? Did you do that? Quick example. It was on YouTube. And I can't remember the name of the show, but the woman's name was Diamond. She was a young woman. She couldn't be any more than 25, 24 years old. And they were having this honest conversation. And I give her credit. She was very honest. I give her credit. She's a beautiful young lady. And they said, well, what about your body count? Because she was saying the body count didn't really mean anything. And she said, now she's about 25 years old. Her body count, by her own estimation, was somewhere around 2,000. That's what she said. Her body count was somewhere around 2,000. That was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. I mean, there's only 365 days in a year. I mean, when did you start? When did you, now she did say that she started having sex right around 12, 13 years old. But still, 2,000. And she thinks it might have been a little bit more. She said probably, about 2,000, maybe a little more. And it and she thought that was okay. She didn't see anything wrong with that. Now, I give the guy credit. I was interviewing her. He stayed on point and said, and asked her, do you think anything wrong with that? She goes, no, I don't see, no. See, there's a fly here, folks. Sorry about that. Okay. And he said, no. And she saw nothing wrong with that. Apparently, a lot of women didn't see anything wrong with that either. You guys are out of your mind. And once again, that's what I'm talking about. The foolishness has got to stop. Ladies, you've got to stop enforcing these and reinforcing these behaviors with other females. Because just because another female says that you're doing the right thing, it's okay, doesn't mean it's okay. Because a lot of you women lie to each other. A lot of you women are lying to you about your behavior. Y'all could be as wrong as you guys could do something totally wrong and totally ratchet, and particularly towards a man, and your friend will go, it's okay, girl, you didn't do anything wrong. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. She's just saying that because women do not hold other women accountable. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Okay? Now, men do. I'm sitting with my boy Loudman. He said something out of line. I said, man, why'd you do that, man? Or vice versa. Big Al, man, that's not right, man. Why'd you do that? He's not challenging me. He just asked me a question. Because it's not right. Explain yourself. But ladies, y'all don't hold each other accountable. Y'all got all this kind of ratchet behavior, this toxic crap. And, girl, he accidentally, he pushed you and you picked up a baseball bat, cracked his skull open, and your girlfriend like, girl, you had to do what you had to do, girl. What? So the foolishness has got to stop. It really does. This kind of stuff that you guys are doing is splitting us up, splitting the black community. We thought we could get rid of the generational curse. Now, we were talking about the generational curse back in the 70s. And we're still talking about it now. Okay? Grandma has a baby at 14. Her daughter has a baby at 16. That daughter has a baby. That daughter, her grandchild has a baby at 15, and the generational curse keeps going on. Now, why is that a big deal? The reason why that's a big deal is that it keeps you, or most of you, in poverty. It keeps you in poverty. And remember what I told you. Remember what I said in a previous podcast. 74.9% of all black families run by black women are at or under the poverty level. Okay? That's just what it is. It's just what it is. Okay? So when you can't break the generational curse, then you're just ensuring poverty for the rest of your family. You're just ensuring poverty for the rest of your family. So your family will never get out of it as long as you keep that behavior going on. That behavior is irresponsible. You would think that someone that already gone through it, the grandmother, the mother, would have taught one of her daughters, not to go through it. But guess what? Guess what? There's probably not a man involved. A father's probably not there. Someone to teach her. Someone that can teach her, hey, this is what men do. This is what you got to watch out for, etc. And I'm telling you, it's essential. I've got, excuse me. If y'all see me fanning, there's a fly going around here, so he's very determined. But like I said, I have 3 daughters, and I had to sit them down. Men will say this, men will say that. You got to be careful. So what? Blah 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 blah. And you have to do that. But you guys are probably teaching them men ain't crap. Watch out for men. They'll go for what they want. They'll try to get what they want out of you, girl, and leave you standing. Now that has nothing to do with men. That has to do with your bad choices of men. And there's no question there's a man out there that will throw their seat out there and walk away and run away from you. Okay? But that's your bad choice of men. Trust me, there is no man that sees you walking on the street or a man that meets you in a club or wherever he meets you at and says, you know what, man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take her somewhere, I'm going to get her pregnant, and we're going to live happily ever after. He said never. No one ever says that. There's not a man alive that meets you and wants to lay down with you and have a baby with you all at once. Some guys talk that yin yang until they actually do it. They don't say it again. You have got to stop the foolishness. You guys are trying to change the narrative. You're trying to make, when you're toxic, you're trying to make that okay. It's not okay. When you have a bad attitude, you're trying to say I don't have a bad attitude, someone made me this way. See, you can change what you want to change. You can change what you want to change. But until you want to be better, you'll be in that same cycle. No one wants a toxic relationship cannot work. It's not fluid. It just can't work. A bad attitude cannot work in a relationship because it becomes toxic. Someone gets tired of it. Someone gets tired of the other person and said, I can't take this anymore. Now, how they deal with that, it could be physical, it could be physical abuse, it could be verbal abuse, it could be emotional abuse, it could be a number of ways that they try to deal with this. But it is not something that will foster good relations between two people. And that's what we're talking about right now. That's what we're talking about. And like I said, as long as this foolishness continues, nothing's going to change. It's going to get worse. Do you realize that when a man writes a template of what he wants in a woman, where she wants her to look, where he wants her to do, etc. Do you realize that his ideal version of a woman, whether you're black, white, African, whatever, is almost never a black woman? It's particularly from the U.S. and from England. Because those women, those modern women, and I'm talking about the modern women, I'm not talking about you old women 50 plus, I'm talking about you modern women, think that y'all have all this time. You think you have everything worked out. You look good right now, you're living a good life right now, etc., and you think that that's going to last forever. You can't push us men away, us black men away, then all of a sudden come running to us later on because you were wrong. And you are wrong if that's what you think, that we aren't crap, that we men don't deserve you and things like, yeah. The narrative that you guys are trying to rewrite is wrong. I mean, even we even have stars that are doing that. Lizzo and her 300-pound self is trying to change the narrative of fat women. It's okay to be fat. I don't know how many times I got to say this. It is not okay to be fat, because it is detrimental to your health. It's also detrimental to how people perceive you. You know, if you're fat and sloppy, people perceive you as lazy. Because the people that are not fat and sloppy say, well, why can't you just lose the weight? But see, Lizzo, she's working around and she's the, for all the big sisters. Yeah, whatever, Lizzo. And she's on stage dancing with all these other fat dancers. She's wearing, and Lizzo's out there wearing floss, looking horrible. She's a good singer though, but she was looking. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. It makes you women. It makes black women look bad, but nobody wants to say it. No one wants to say it. One comedian, what's his name? Ari Spears said something about it, and man, they killed him on the internet. And he just said, F y'all. Good for you, Aries. The narrative that you are trying to change, trying to make, is not a positive narrative. It's not a positive narrative. And let me explain this. Liz, you look at someone like Lizzo, she has the forum where she can do that kind of stuff. She's a singer, she's an entertainer. But you try to be Lizzo size and go try to be the VP of a company. Try to be the IT manager. Try to be someone that makes six figures applying for a job where other people are applying. Your weight will nullify you. Because you as a black woman go in there weighing 250 pounds, then there are 3 or 4 white women, same qualifications as you are, and they weigh 140, 130, 119. They got that corporate look. They got a corporate look. And that's important, because the people that they stand in front of, they have that corporate look too. There's almost no, and I can tell you, having been from that world, there's almost no Lizzos out there presenting things and presenting a company to other managers, to other heads, to other CEOs or CEOs or people like that. There's CFOs. There's not anyone. There's very few large people that are doing that. Now there might be a few men doing it, but once again, men are judged differently. You got to stop comparing yourselves to men. The foolishness must stop. You've got to stop. See, the guy that might be that might be chunky, etc. That's a guy that he could have been playing ball all his life, man. He could have been playing. All of a sudden he got injured and he can't run no more, so he picked up some weight. He's probably a former athlete, that type of thing. But women, you cannot disrespect and ignore what men want. We want someone to work with us as a team. We want a team. We want someone to work with us as a team. Now, don't get now. When we come home and they're gonna understand you were working too. I get it. Well, Big Al, I work too. Why can't he rub my feet? But he can. And he would. If he knew he could come home and receive peace. Remember what I told you guys before in a previous podcast. Men are very simple. We are very simple. All we want is peace, tranquility, and calmness. That's all we want. That's all we want. And see, you ladies are sitting there waiting for him to do it. You want him to do it when he wants to do it, when you want him to do it, instead of encouraging him to do it when he feels he should. There's a difference. There's a difference. When a man comes home from work, a man goes through a whole lot more things at work than a female does, particularly attractive females. Because attractive females kind of skate through their job, through life, etc. But a man, and I think Chris Rock said it the best. Women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Unconditionally. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to bring anything to the table. They don't have to do anything. Don't bring nothing to the table. We love them. They will be loved no matter what. A man is only loved strictly by what he can provide. By what he can provide. If a man cannot provide anything, he is not loved. Although he may be liked, not loved. In other words, a man is never loved unconditionally. Why? Because the woman, the child, they all have expectations of the man. There is no expectation of the puppy, the child, or the woman. Think about that. Think about it. You know, and I got to tell you, you know, is it fair? Probably not. But is it true? Absolutely. By the way, if you want to call into the show and or you want to text in 757-964-9367, okay, and just let us know what you think. You know, but those are the only times. But a man is never loved unconditionally. And see, you women out there that are twerking, all this kind of stuff, see all this stuff. See, the standard is different for a woman than it is for a man. Y'all can talk all kinds of yin yang about a man this and a man that. Y'all can be in the street talking about etc. As soon as a man says something about a woman, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. I remember we were talking. I was at work. This was about a year and a half ago. I was at work a while ago, and I said, "Wow." I said, "This was a good voice." She said, "But she's really fat." They said, "Oh, don't call her fat." What do you mean? She's fat. I said, "I'm not the only one calling her fat. She's fat." But because I said it about Lizzo, about a woman, you know, the women they push back. But yet and still, a little while later, they were talking about some men, and you know, he's this, he's that, blah blah. I know, girl, blah 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 blah. They were all talking about him. No one said a word. It was a man that they were talking about. And one of the silliest things I've ever heard a woman say, and you know, and this is I need a man that can handle me. I need a man that can handle me. That's a stupid thing. That's a stupid thing. Okay? First thing is, why can't you handle yourself? And why does a man need to handle you if you got all your stuff together? Here's the answer. The answer is that particular female knows she's not going to change. No, she's not going to change. Doesn't want to change. So she says, "You've got to be able to handle me." Or she'll say something just as stupid. "You have to accept me as I am." No one has to accept you as you are. No one. No one, no one, no one. And a lot of these women are saying that are moving away from black men or pushing black men away. They're marrying. Some of them, a few of them, I see marrying outside the race. Not a whole lot of them, but a few of them are marrying or dating outside the race, and it's a different kind of deal there, because when they start dating outside their race, they don't bring the crazy with them. They try to cover it up as much as possible. They don't bring the crazy. The yelling, screaming, cursing, all that kind of foolishness, the picking up the knife, they don't, throwing stuff. They don't bring the crazy when they're dating the white guy, the Hispanic guy, the Italian guy. They don't bring that crazy. When they're dating that guy, they know their place. Y'all know your place then. You know your place. You know you're not in charge. You think that because he's different, he might have more money. So you want to see where this is going to go. So you know instinctively not to bring out the crazy. Not to bring it out. But when you're with us black men, that's when you turn around and just do what you do. That's when you turn around and just let it go. Why? Because we should know better. That's what you're thinking. We should know better. You know how we act. So it's not a matter of you need someone to handle you. It's a matter of you just don't want to change. But you can change, because when you're someone of another race, you do. You do. But a man never wants a toxic woman, because nothing holds a man back like a toxic woman. Why? Because he's trying to figure out how to get away from her. He's trying to figure out how to deal with her. He's trying to figure out, but he's not figuring out what he needs to do with himself and with his future, his career, because he's spending all his time trying to deal with her and her craziness. I can tell you that for a fact. Okay. I used to come home and I was gonna open the door. My wife was standing there glaring at me, and I'm thinking to myself, "What in the F happened now? What'd I do this time?" Because all I did was go to work and come home. Wasn't even home, but whatever it was, I did something, and that went on until I got tired of it. She's my ex-wife now. But women, you got to stop being irrational. You got to stop being toxic. You got to stop being combative. You got to stop all that stuff. Just because, listen, having a great body, being able to twerk and have a nice butt, nice body, chest, etc., doesn't mean that you're wife or fiance material. It doesn't mean that you're the type of woman that a man wants to be with. Sleep with, yes. Sleep with, yes. There's any woman out there, no matter what you look like, someone will sleep with you. And just a little while ago, this 600-pound woman just had a miscarriage. See, it was 600 pounds. She couldn't even get out of her own bed. But someone definitely got in there with her. But we have to come together as a group. We have to come together as couples. We have to come together as people. And then we have to work together. We have to get on the same page, man. Because there was a time when we were the most married group in America. There was a time up until about 72. 71, 72. Then it started to change. We have to get back there. Why? Because the world is getting tough. I mean, the world is getting crazy out there, and we need each other. We need each other. What we don't need are people, are women thinking that we're not crap, and then we men thinking y'all ain't loyal, and a lot of y'all ain't loyal. But we have to put an end to all that. Because a lot of you women out there are disrespectful, dishonorable. disloyal. And the big one that gets me is ungrateful for what we men do for you. And I know some of you out there are going to hear this and say, well, what about the men? Y'all make us this way, and if we blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. I get it. And I understand it. But I'm trying to get you to understand that it has to start from somewhere. Okay? If you're less toxic, you'll get a better quality of man. You follow me? If you're less combative, you get a better quality of man, a better relationship. If you're more honest, you get honesty right back at you. And above all, ladies, you got to stop lying to each other. Stop lying to each other about what you would do and about what the woman did. I mean, stop lying to each other that all that stuff is right. It's not. You got to understand something that you may not know. The whole world is watching you. The whole world is watching America. And we ain't doing too well right now. People don't want to travel to America. All that's gone down. They keep saying it's COVID, but it's not. It's violence. We have mass shootings. No one wants an American woman, American black woman, because no one wants all the toxicity, the anger, the disrespect. We have to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to get back together. And I know I'm kind of a broken record about this, and I don't apologize about it. But we have to get back to the basics. A lot of y'all out there are twerking. A lot of y'all got these giraffe eyelashes, that don't look natural. I mean, your eyelid muscle must be really strong to keep flapping those doggone giraffe lashes all day long. I don't even know why y'all wear those. It makes no sense. We are getting to the point so bad that they have a term for black on black love. It's called struggle love. Yeah, there's a name for it, struggle love. Isn't that crazy? But that's what they call it. And it only has to do with a black man and a black woman, not a black man and a white woman, not a black woman and an Asian man. It's just black man, black. It's called struggle love. And struggle love is a love where there's toxic, there's abuse, there's whether it's emotional, physical, mental, it's so predominant that they actually have a term for it. And that blew me away. And that tells you how prevalent it is. That tells you right then and there, how prevalent and how bad this is and how it needs to slow down and be stopped. I'm telling you. So, I mean, is there any one answer? There's no one answer to it because we've gotten so far out of control. I see young girls talking about something. I don't want no relationship. I just want to F. I just want to hump, want to bang, want to fuck. That's all I want to do. Those same young girls, somehow get pregnant and wonder where the man went because he went somewhere because you said all you want to do was bang and hump and fuck and and all of a sudden you got pregnant. So that wasn't part of the deal. That just wasn't part of the deal. So when you guys are out, so ladies, particularly, please think about what you're doing when you're twerking. Think about what you're doing with the men that you're picking. Think about the example that you're giving to your daughter, to your daughter, and And remember, she's watching everything that you do. Be vigilant in the men that you choose. Because see, you guys keep choosing the wrong men, and then when the right man comes along, you dump all that crap onto the right man that the wrong man did you. The right man got to jump through all kinds of hoops and flip and turn all that. Where the other guy, all he did was just jump in you. He just jumped inside you. He didn't have to do nothing. But the good guy, you make him pay. And then your girlfriend says, yeah, girl, you're right, girl. Because you got to be careful because he might just hurt you too like the other guy did. And you know darn well this is a good guy that you're dealing with. You know he's not going to do that. But you treat him like he will be. So he leaves you, and he's a bit jaded about black women and so forth. And so the next woman he gets, he's more careful, more cautious. He's not quite as giving. He's not quite as open. He's not quite as trusting as he was with you. Struggle love. That's one heck of a term, isn't it? Struggle love. Listen, we have a long ways to go. Black people, we have a long ways to go. You know, we got to get our community right. We got to start coming back together like we should. And once again, I have no problem being a broken record about this because more and more people should hear it. More and more people should do it. You know, so before I sign off, which I'm going to do in about 30 seconds, I just want you guys to know, black women, we love you. We black men love you. Stop chasing us away. And black women, stop choosing men for the wrong reasons, for their height, the size of their penis, the size of their pocketbook. Because you get the right man, you guys can build a dynasty together. And that's what the couples are for, to build something together. Not for the man to have everything and you just slide yourself in. For black women, we love you. We do, and that's what this is all about, love. We don't want to do struggle love, okay? We don't want to do struggle love. And that's going to be it for me. Listen, thank y'all for stopping by. Thank y'all for listening to me. I appreciate it. And I am out of here. This is Big Al, the HNIC, saying bye-bye till next time. All righty now.
Radio.